What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Stabby Time. This is our second live. So hello. I am your host, Liz0mbie. I'm here with my co-host, Bendan.
Hi.
Yeah, we've been a little skippy this year on our
Fortunately.
episodes. But we're gonna get back into the game. I can make everyone feel bad and be like, I've been going through so much shit. But I mean, to be honest, I have been like living in 2 different hospitals for the past 2 weeks, not for myself, but for my parents. I've gotten like to the age now, like I feel like I've like earned another level of being old. Like now I'm at the age where my parents are in hospitals and I'm like, do I gotta wipe your ass now? Like, is this where we're going? Because this sucks. I was like, God damn. But I was thinking, like, you know what someone should do on TikTok? They should review hospital food. Like, someone should really review hospital food and who's got like the best what in hospitals. But I can't do it because I'll tell you what, they do not have vegan options. I didn't think their crackers were vegan. I was hungry. I was like, I literally lost 10 pounds. I think it's because I was drinking like water and eating ice cubes. Like that was my meal. I'm like, oh, great. Do you have any rice or like fucking potatoes I could eat? I'm like, something. I'm starving. Yeah. So that's going to be our excuse. Other than that, we are here to review Late Night with a Devil and Abigail, who I've been calling Annabelle.
Not the same.
Yeah. I've confused so many people. I'm like, man, I saw like Annabelle last night, and they're like, oh my God, did someone make like another Annabelle? And I go, no, it's the new movie. And then I looked, I go, oh my God, I mean fucking Abigail. Oh, and then someone thought I was talking about Megan. And I'm like, I don't know. It's the other fucking little girl that like murders people. That movie.
It's like a very generic term now.
Right? They're like the new trend in horror movies, little girls that murder. I mean, I'm for it. You know, it's about time the kids actually face what they've been doing in horror movies the whole time is fucking killing us all. But when I went to go see Abigail, I promised you I'd tell you I almost died. I decided to take myself alone to a movie. Which even though I have like my horror movie partner, Eric, that I always bring, sometimes I like when I have to do it half-ass minute, like last minute, like I will hop because when Eric and I go to see it, I feel like it's always a full day kind of escapade. So I just needed a quick in and out. So I get in and I get my popcorn and I get my water and I sit my ass down in this empty fucking theater and I'm eating my popcorn and I'm taking a swig of my water. And I guess my throat was like still kind of dry. I had to cough. And as I coughed, the half eaten popcorn like lodged my airways and I started like suffocating. I was like gasping for air. I was legit in the middle of this empty ass theater being like, like my ribs still hurt. This went on, I want to say, for like a full ass minute. And I was like trying to grab my water and open it as I'm like gasping for air. And there was just so many things went through my mind. Just my life flashed before my eyes. And I was like, I don't want to die yet. I am not going to die like in a fucking theater by myself. Like no one's going to find my dead body. Like if I went unconscious, no one's going to find me for 2 hours. Cause that's like how long, or an hour, 47 minutes. And then if I die before then, my body will be rotting in a theater for like an hour, 47 minutes. And then of course I thought about my dog and I was like, oh no, like Chewy's at my parents' house, like they're definitely going to put him down if I die because they can't handle my dog. And then I was like, I literally was like, I cannot fucking, this is like the worst way to die. But also the most predictable way that I would die. Like, literally, quoting Gab, she would have been at my theater, like in my funeral saying, Liz died doing what she loved, watching horror movies, which is true. I did like Abigail, but I wish I would have died during like a I don't know, better horror movie. And the only cool thing about dying in that way is like I would have been Chewy does not like it at all. Do you drink growling? Bubba, you're in the middle of sleeping. It's okay. Go back to bed. I know. I talk about my mom putting him to sleep. He's like, shut the fuck up. But like I don't know. Yeah, so bottom line, I could have haunted the place and been like, you know, the ghost that everyone knows about throughout the years, been like, you know, someone died in theater 10 watching a horror movie about a young girl that is a vampire. Her name was Liz. But that I don't know. Kids nowadays, I don't think have like respect for stories like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever heard I don't know. My niece and my nephew are at the ages where kids would say shit like Candyman or Bloody Mary and crap, but I never hear them like say anything like that. Like their friends talking about, oh wait. Yeah, no. Unless it's a YouTube video, like they don't give a shit. Because my nephew did introduce me to Alarm Man or Alert Man. Have you heard about this? It's like this weird fucking cartoon thing on YouTube, and kids love it, by the way. Question your kid because it's creepy. It's got a big fucking like speaker on its head, and it's almost like I don't know, like a techie claymation, and it just like walks around and you just hear like this siren. Like that's it. That's all you hear. And I'm just like, okay, because I remember my nephew saying that he was scared of it. And then I was like, of course, I was, you know, the crazy aunt being like, what the fuck they show you? And I like looked at the thing and I go, oh, that's not bad. Like, like I remember people telling me about the hangman, that if you park a car under a tree, some dude's gonna like fucking murder you, or was it someone being in the backseat of your car killing you? Yeah, this kid just watched a YouTube video and it was like this weird claymation. I'm like, oh, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, bottom line, if I died in the theater, I'd be a forgotten haunted ghost that died in a very predictable way. Womp womp. They wouldn't even dedicate the theater to me. Like, it's a Marcus theater. They don't give a shit. I'm sure I would be the first person that died in the theater. But yeah. Possible. Yeah. I could aim for that. Maybe.
It's the little things.
So I figured that we would do the late night with the devil first. Probably because that's the first movie we both saw.
Yeah.
So it's kind of still fresh in my head. I will say that I did make a mistake, and I'm going to admit it live. After we got done watching this movie, I Googled it because I was a little put off by the ending. Because I was like, I like this movie, but the ending was like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about that. And my friend was like, I fucking hated the ending. So, of course, I was like Googling going, well, wait, maybe there's going to be a sequel. And I like Googled. And I don't know what half-ass article I read. But I told him, and I also told people on my Twitch stream that I read that it was a book and that there's a sequel to the book. I totally lied. I don't know what article I was looking at. It's not a book. And I guess I Googled it and I actually read what I was looking at, and it said that they have not ruled out a sequel. So keep that in mind. So
that'd be interesting.
to the 20 people I told, give it a chance, there might be a sequel, I lied to you. So it's all about growth, you know? Admitting when you're wrong, and I was wrong. Will it change my opinion about the movie? I don't know. It might change at the end of this whole spiel. But the storyline, according to IMDb, this is a long one. October 31st, 1977. Johnny Carson's rival Jack Delroy hosted a syndicate talk show, Night Owls, that has long been a trusted companion. I have not slept all week. To insomniacs around the country. A year after the tragic death of Jack's wife, ratings have plummeted. Desperate to turn his fortune around, Jack plans a Halloween show like no other, unaware he is about to unleash a evil into the living rooms of America.
Damn.
Did you know what you were walking into when you saw this movie?
I mean, kind of just from like the trailers. I say they are just kind of like I guess you look at it as like a parody of late night shows.
Yeah,
But it's like,
yeah.
The way they went about it was kind of cool.
Oh God, yes, the filming.
Yeah, it was really neat.
It was what did they do? They started off in black and white, and then when did they turn into color within it? It was like when the show started, it went into color.
Yeah, I think it went in when it started doing the live studio audience type of stuff.
Yeah, I love the whole thing. How it was filmed was like super cool.
Yeah.
I like that this movie was just something different from like, I don't know, other horror movies you've seen. It kind of gives me, it's kind of how I felt when I watched like X and them. Like, you know what I mean? It's something different. It's filmed in a very cool way. It's refreshing that someone's actually making horror that's not a fucking remake.
Well, especially since like everyone's seen plenty of Exorcist movies, and then you see one like this, where it's just like some girls just possessed on a late night show in front of a live studio audience. I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. I'm like, how do you go about doing this? Yeah.
I was gonna say, which by the way, that girl that played that character, actually, that's like the theme of this episode is young girls that murder people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that just pitched in. Maybe it is a thing with horror movies now, young girls that murder people. But that girl, she did an awesome job. Her face, like her facial structure and how it changed when she went from just like the whole show. Like she was never a normal girl. Like you could tell she was weird. But then she like turned evil and you're like, what in the flying fuck? But the characters you have is Jack is the host. June is the therapist. Well, she's like a
social worker.
Yeah,
type.
right?
Social worker / psychologist. Like she's just trying to like watch over her.
Yeah, / demonologist. She goes from like she's like a plural job.
Yeah, she's a jack of all trades for the
she does everything. Balloon animals, whatever you want to do. Babysitter. Then Lily is the little girl. Of course, her name is Lily, like Lilith. Gus is the poor co-host. And like, even if you didn't watch this movie, just naming him Gus, you could imagine what this character looks like. And it's exactly, he embodies this character. And then I have to, of course, mention, was it Christo is the mind reader dude?
Yeah, Christo. Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of, what's his name? The guy's like, very nice.
Borat?
Borat, yeah. He just reminded me of Borat. Gave me Borat vibes. But yeah, like in the beginning, It gives his whole life story. Like it tells about like Jack and how he has a, a nighttime show, and him and Johnny Carson was like head to head. And he was like on top of his game, and his wife was involved in the show, and then she dies of, what do they say, cancer?
Yeah, cancer.
And then all of a sudden his show goes to shit, and he just like leaves. He up and leaves. And then all of a sudden you see these news articles that are like, he's coming back to a new Halloween special. And I'll be honest, I thought it was just going to be a simple, like, little girls possessed and people get fucked up during this whole movie, but it did not go that route. Because he like comes back and he says like, this lady, June, she wrote a book about how this little girl, oh God, it was like almost like a Manson family situation, right?
Yeah.
Like they were a cult and the FBI murdered her whole family, and she was the only one alive, and they were Satanist, and of course they like possessed their daughter with this demon, and she's always had this demon inside of her, but June claims that she's tamed the demon. Which is fucked up in a way, because then you find out that June also like adopted her. So it's like she's like a circus act. She adopted her, and then she like talks to this demon and controls her whole personality and person. So that's June was a lovely lady. One for the books. But before they even bring them on, like, you could tell it's just the setting is a little off. Like, you got Jack talking to the producer or whatever of the show, and he's like talking about the special guests. You have Gus is already being a, gloomy Gus, and being a Debbie Downer, because they bring on Christo. And he's supposed to be like, one of those psychics that are like, has anyone had a dead person before? Name Susie, or starts with an S. And then someone's like, I did. And then he starts his little quote, scam. But then when he like doesn't get anything right, and then people start laughing at him, he like goes to that one lady and he's like, she was obviously a plant. And he's like, I know, but what I don't understand is I was unclear with that part, because when he's done, he starts like having this, I guess, migraine, like his fucking eyes start going googly and his head starts like getting bigger. I thought his fucking head was going to blow up. I was like, shit's about to go down. But I wasn't sure if they were a plant, or was that like the demon have him actually read their minds and that's why his brain was swelling up, or was it just not related to that at all? And then he was like brain swollen.
She could have already started messing with him.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I wasn't sure if, I don't know. I don't know if they had anything to do with it, but he ends up not even, his head doesn't explode. He just pukes a lot of black tar. Yeah, and everyone, what's funny about that is he pukes up this almost like comedic amount of black liquid out of his body, and they just drag him off stage. They clean up the stage, they clean up Jack, and he's talking to June. He tells everyone like, no, don't worry, like everyone's fine, and Christo is fine, and we're great, we're fantastic, because he finds out now more people are watching, so he's gonna continue, obviously. I can't believe the audience acted like that was fine, because they were like, he's still alive, he's good.
He puked on that guy that kept trying to dismiss everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
I totally forgot about that guy. Oh my God.
That's when he puked on, because he made a comment about his suit.
I'm like, that's funny. Yeah, I totally forgot about that jackass. I forgot about that character. There's a guy that basically is one of those like, I know how every magician does his trick because I used to
Carmichael.
be one.
Yeah,
He
it
sounds
was
like a
Carmichael Hag.
jackass.
Yeah.
Literally a fitting name. Because he was a total fucking dick for no reason.
Yeah.
And he was more of a dick after he got puked on, because the guy pukes on him and he's being a total cock about it. And then he's like, I'll stay to see this apparent demon girl. So all in all, he deserves everything he fucking gets. Puked on, whatever. He was like a dickhead throughout this whole thing. But yeah, Jack talks to June and talks her into bringing the girl on and then summoning the demon.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not doing that shit. And he's like, well, I mean, you should. Because, like, why the hell am I even having you on this show? No one's going to believe you. And no one's going to, like, he gave her, the sugar and spice and everything nice. And it was like, everyone is not going to believe you if you don't show them, her demon side or whatever. And she's like, I'm not fucking doing it. And of course, it had to be planned that guy stayed, because she fucking like gets onto the show. They start talking about Lilith's story, about her culty family. They brought that knife, which was a little weird, because if you wanted to, I don't know, talk about her story and didn't want to summon a demon, you should probably not bring the fucking knife. That is a little triggering to the little girl, because she was like, I just want Lily to be safe and feel secure. And I go, but you brought the knife that like made her into a fucking demon. I don't know what the purpose of that was. That was, I guess, her show and tell to be like, oh no, the story's true. But yeah, that all of a sudden, of course, Jackass McGee is like, I don't believe she's a demon. I believe none of this. Not at all. So, of course, peer pressure, she goes, okay, let's get Lilith. And it was almost like a circus act, because she goes, everyone, we have to prepare. We are about to summon a demon. And I need everyone needs to be calm and quiet. Like, I wouldn't trust, even though it was like 1977. So I guess like people would be calmer, back then. If it was 2024, you would have people fucking screaming and yelling and wanting a refund and like streaming on TikTok live. But yeah, I mean, it's 1970s. So people were like, we'll listen to this lady telling me I'm going to be in danger. And of course, like, they have the seats and she's staring at the girl and she goes, are you ready? Are you ready to summon this demon in the calm? I'm like, this bitch is a gaslighter. First of all, you brought the knife, and then you're like, no, you're going to be safe. And we're not going to summon this demon. And then you're like, no. This bald headed dude is saying like, he doesn't believe me. So I'm going to show him off. So now you're fucking summoning the demon. So I guess the girl's not safe, but whatever. And the girl's mannerisms, even before this, is very like, it was like very, I want to say like a porcelain doll.
Yeah, it's just off.
Yeah, like she did like the sit down and then like the slow head turn and like smiling at the fucking camera, just like, and then they're like, you don't have to look at the camera. Like, you're freaking everyone out. Don't look at the camera. Just don't. She's like, no problem, Jack. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but that was not enough. We needed to summon the demon inside the weird fucking chick, which she did. And like, when she turns into the demon and you see her fucking face, and then like she floats and lights go off, shit hits the fan.
Nope.
And you hear everyone in the audience going, ooh! And then Liddy's like, shh, stay calm. And I'm like, but the fucking demon sees everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the outcome would be if they were freaking out. But I mean, they didn't really freak out. They just did this like, like gasp. And then they just stopped. I'm like, what a well-behaved group that they had during the show. But and this is not even the scary part though, this whole movie. Like, I don't know what I was waiting for. I guess I was waiting for what had happened at the end, because after that, she, goes down and everyone's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like, I can't believe that happened, because what happened was she calls poor Gus. Poor Gus doesn't even want this fucking show to happen. He just wants to go home to the wife and the fucking kids and eat a goddamn sandwich and not be near anyone in this show. And the girl's talking to him, and what she asked something like, "What was your greatest fear?" And he's like, "I don't like worms. They're disgusting." And if he didn't know what was to come, like, he's a fucking idiot. So all of a sudden, while he's talking, you could see a fucking worm coming out of him slowly. And then as it progresses, he's got like tons of worms. And then he's taking off his shirt because there's fucking worms coming out of his gut. And he's freaking out more. And then all of a sudden, like, everything goes back to normal. And then the girl's normal. And everyone's just like, "What happened, Gus? Like, what's going on?" And everyone's freaking out because they're like, that can't be, like, that didn't happen. We all saw like worms coming out of this man, and now he's like untouched. Like, I don't understand. So, and that's what I was like, oh, I guess this is this gonna be an okay, like, educational movie. Like, oh yeah, scary demon girl. No. So they get back on stage, and of course, Mr. Jackass is like, "I don't believe in it." Like, what?
As for the recordings, like, "I'll record it back. None of that happened."
Yeah, he's like, "Look at none of this happened. See, like, nothing is what it seems." And then oh no, wait, it's him that did the worms. Sorry, I totally fucked that up.
Yeah, because he hypnotized them.
Yeah,
Because
he did the worms.
He was trying to disprove all the
Yeah.
supposed bullshit she was talking about by hypnotizing and making him feel like there's worms on him and all
I
that
totally
stuff.
missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah, he hypnotized the
mixed it
entire
up.
crowd. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because then they did the filming back, and it just shows that he had nothing, which made no sense, because when we saw the girl, she was like literally floating in the fucking air. But when he did it, he fooled everybody. But when you play it back, it's just like nothing. So he didn't really prove anything. He just proved like he could hypnotize everybody into
well, he was proving that you can't believe everything you see.
Yeah. I'm like, but that, I mean, that bitch was believable.
Yeah.
I mean, the fountain of black blood coming out of that man's mouth was like a little believable. He could touch it, but he was like, "I know that trick. You put a garden hose into his anus through his mouth." I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is good. This is fucking stupid. So this guy is just like, throughout this whole fucking escapade, they're taking a break now. And Jack is like consoling the little girl, and the little girl is like, says something about his wife. I forgot what it was, and he's already having like these crazy like flashes with his dead wife, and you're kind of piecing together the story of like why he took time off, because he left the show and then he just came back out of nowhere, and you hear about him going in to hang out with these famous people that go on these VIP kind of Illuminati retreats, and then these people come out like famous, and then people end up dead, and then they end up famous. So you're piecing together that he did something to like get onto the show to make it like back on top again. So you're piecing it together and you're like, okay, so he must have made a devil with something to get his show back, and he obviously sacrificed his wife because the girl keeps talking about his wife and the demon keeps saying shit through the little girl, and it's like basically, I know what you did, or you know what you did. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and then he admits to the audience, what did they say? Like, the single man with a wedding ring on his finger is something about his wife. And then he's like, that man was me. I'm like, oh God, you're so fucking dramatic. Like, shut the fuck. He's like, that man is me because my wife died. I'm like, do it for the views, dude. Do it for the views. But yeah, you piece it together. You're like, okay, well, he fucking made a deal with this demon, and now he's fucking caught up. Like, the demon that he thought that he didn't see is now on his fucking show, so he's kind of screwed. And he's getting flashbacks of this, so he's starting to lose his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Gus is already fucking done because he's already had to deal with a demon little girl. And then he had to deal with fucking worms coming out of his body. So yeah, Gus is over it. Jack is over it, but he's like still fighting because he's like, no, I'm getting the best ratings. Like, we're not gonna stop this. June, by the way, is like a little like, I feel like the more that guy pushed her, the more she was like, yeah, no, this girl is a demon. Let me show you. Like, she kept like pushing it more. And I was like, what are you doing, bitch? Like, this is your adopted kid. Like, you should know better. This is not okay. Like, this is DCFS shit. Like, what the fuck? But it was 77. So I guess anyone could adopt a demon child. Look at Damien. But yeah, you got the bald guy fucking jackass screaming, being like, I don't believe ya. You got Jack pissing off this demon because the demon's like, I'm here to collect some more shit, bitch, because, your wife wasn't enough. And you got this other bitch that's like, I need to prove something. So everyone is basically pissing off this fucking demon, and then everything hits the fucking fan. All the gore that I've ever wanted in a movie happens in 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was like this guy gets up, the skeptic gets fucking up, and all of a sudden this little girl's just like, bam, just fucking twists his goddamn neck, like turns it all around. He's fucking done. And then we got fucking Gus. What Gus got like
Gus was the first one. He got up, she twisted his neck, then June got up, she levitated June up in the air with the necklace, and then just snapped her neck, and then blood just squirted out.
Fuck, that's right. She grabbed her by her cross because she was clasping at that thing. Fucking fake bitch. The whole time. Wait, what? The guy got stabbed. Who got stabbed? Someone got. What happened to the
Carmichael?
Damn it. I want to say he got. Wait, yes, she stabbed him with the demon knife. She did one of those like crazy, like fast stabs.
Okay.
With the demon knife on him. Yeah. And then she killed Jack, didn't she?
No.
Because no, that's right. Everyone ended up dead. And then she kills like everyone, basically. Everyone fucking is dead. Audience, everyone is like, blood is fucking everywhere. She murders everybody. And then, no, Jack kills her. That's right. He grabs the knife and then ends up stabbing the little girl, which every adult should do with a possessed kid. Learn your lesson. Okay. And this is why Jack is alive, because he is the first grown-ass adult to murder the fucking demon child. It's like literally Sinister would end as soon as we just kill off the fucking weird kid that's seeing dead kids. Then you would have been alive. Just off them, and then we've been like A-okay. But nope. Everyone wants to coddle the demon kid until they're all dead. This bitch is dead, but the thing is, she's dead. So what the ending leaves you to assume, or what I assume, is that the demon has now just possessed Jack or the location. Because I feel like it was still,
you know
what I mean? Like it was still kind of.
It'd be kind of interesting if it attached to the location,
like the electric. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. That either or.
Yeah, because I'm like, because it just shows him. Jack's still alive, but then Jack is still very much in some other realm because he's back on the show again.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you might be in cahoots or something, using the demon to gain things.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, maybe.
So it's like, what? So is the demon making him seem shit, or, I would love to see more about the backstory of this guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, even though they say a sequel's not ruled out, I feel like they're just, milking it for what it's worth. Everyone is like excited. And if they tell them that a sequel's coming out, people might want to wait to see that movie. You know what I mean? And then see like one or two. I don't know if that's their thing, because I'm like, by the end of this movie, there's no way in hell that you're not planning a sequel. I loved the movie. I honestly would give this movie 4 Stabbies, and I would have given it 5. I would give it 5 if you guys give me a sequel. Like, if you don't give me the sequel, it's getting 4. Because I need to know more about his fucking, like, killing his wife off and selling her soul for some fame, and apparently getting tricked by a demon, which that sucks. What's how many Stabbies you giving this one?
I was thinking 3 or 4. Like I probably would give it a 4 just because it is kind of unique.
Yeah.
Just for the whole like live studio audience type of environment, but still actually going through with a full demon attack.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah.
But it does actually make me realize we do have a lot of little girl killers out there.
Kids. Yeah, it usually does go for the girls.
Yeah, these little girls. They're
I think it's
don't tell a little girl to calm it down or smile more, because they'll fucking kill you.
I think little girls just tend to be creepier than little boys.
Right? I mean, I guess like during the 70s, we had a lot of scary 70s and early 90s, because we had was it Macaulay Culkin was that one kid that fucking murdered with
the good son or something?
Yeah. Oh god, the step kid or something. It was Elijah Wood, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. And then we had
it's the good son.
Oh yeah, the good son.
Yeah,
that one. Damien, the fucking kid from
Pet
Sematary, the little boy from the Shining. Yeah, I guess there was like a lot of little boy demons, and now it's time, equal rights. You know what I mean? Time for the girls to shine. Let's kill people, little girls. They're like, you know what the world needs? Some killer young women. This is excellent. But you know what time it is? It's now time for reviews. I cannot wait. I feel like this one is gonna give us a lot of either really good or like really bad. But of course, we only read the bad. Where is the reviews for this? Why am I not?
It's towards the bottom, above the top picks.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I was like, I thought I had this. It's got a 7.1 out of 10. Also, this is the highest rated, like, I think they said like a Shudder supported movie or whatever it was.
Original?
Yeah. Which is amazing. Good for them. Here, let's see. Ratings. It is near the bottom, isn't it? You would think I would automatically have this on here. I have the IMDb up, but I did not put the reviews up. By the way, all of our reviews that we read are from IMDb, which is exciting. All right, show all. No, baby, we want to see the 1 stars. Yep, there we go. All right, feature. What are we doing? Review date by review date?
What do you mean?
Oh, actually, we just browse anyways.
Yeah, I found one.
Okay, you go first.
It's a longer one. It's from
they're all like paragraphs, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they usually are because they have to justify why they're writing it. Yeah, I got one from Levy Bob that says, "Don't say you weren't warned." Says, "Don't say you weren't warned. Late Night with the Devil is atrocious. Even for a bad film, it's atrocious. From its premise to its production, it is simply awful. And in case you're wondering, no, you will not be scared, not even once. The premise of a late night TV show in the 1970s, competing with Johnny Carson, devotes its broadcast to the supernatural. One of its guests is a young woman who alleges to be possessed by the devil, and well, you can guess the rest. Here's what does not work. 1, nothing about the show's appearance seems real. It is actors, bad ones, pretending to be TV personalities, which by itself isn't a crime. What is a crime is how badly they do it. 2, during commercial breaks, we are taken backstage. These segments are inexplicably in black and white and seem even less real and more scripted than the segments of live TV. No one will believe this dialogue could be spoken between people off stage or on. 3, we somehow are privy to the hallucinations suffered by a film's characters. We get inside their brains as if it were us who were hallucinating. 4, a show like this would never be in competition with Johnny Carson. The host is stiff and completely unfunny. 5, you can see where the film is going the moment the possessed young woman steps on stage, and you'll be correct. 6, if you saw The Exorcist, you saw how this subject can best be rendered. This is far from that as the sun is from the earth. Okay.
Oh my God. So, this review sucks. It's also weird because it's a fucking movie. Yeah. It's not based on a real story. I love how it's basically they're like, I don't like this movie because you guys don't use real demons, okay? And the real Johnny Carson was not in this movie. Matter of fact, this is a horrible movie. And how dare they use black and white? It was stupid. Like, what in the fuck nut? I just don't get when people say it's not real, because it's not real. It's a fucking movie. Also, it kind of gives off the. I mean, it looked good to me.
Yeah, I mean, you did look good.
You weren't scared. I mean, I'm not easily scared, but like,
I don't think you were really meant to be scared.
Yeah, it was horrific. Like, I did give out a loud ass laugh in the theater that was very inappropriate. When people started dying. But like,
people just think if it's a horror movie, it's supposed to scare you. I'm like, I mean, not necessarily.
They didn't really kill real kids. I don't like this movie. I'm gonna give it 1 star. Yeah, people have officially lost it. I am going to read Woo Tawny Boy. They sound like this is gonna be fun. They gave it 1 out of 10-star rating. Worst movie of 2024. I would love to see what other movies this man has seen, or the whatever. I can't recommend this movie at all. If you think this will be a good, you are wrong. I love reading reviews with horrible grammar, by the way. Bad acting, bad CGI, no horror at all. The only horror there is in this movie is at the end. Maybe the last 10 minutes of the movie, which is true. Not even that part is worth watching, which I also am not saying this is true. That's bullshit. Save yourself 1.5 of your life in a void. 1.5 what?
Hours, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but then they like repost what they just said in another paragraph, and then in the end they put avoid. 14 out of 34 found this helpful. All of you people could go set yourselves on fire, because this is not helpful. The CGI was fine. What the fuck are you people talking about? The acting was acting. You know what I mean? It's like how people act in a TV show.
Yeah.
It's how we act on a podcast. Like, you know, it's just like you were acting. I don't understand. Like, they're making a movie that's supposed to be interesting while also making a movie about a TV show that also has to be interesting. So it's like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Why does everyone want everything to look real?
That's how every movie or TV show has a TV show inside of it are.
Yeah,
like, a little more like fake and dramatic for the point of this is actors being actors. You can only get so
doing
meta.
acting.
Yeah, it's like you can only get so meta. It's like it's gonna look ridiculous.
This part like just fucking kills me. You can do one more and I'll do one more, and then we'll cut it off because these are everyone.
Well, they're long and there's only 11.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is fun.
This one from Destiny West. It's like, you all drank the Kool-Aid. It's like, well, that is the time I am never getting back. Honestly, one of the worst so-called horror films I have ever watched. All these people giving it above 6 have truly drunk the Kool-Aid on this one. There is nothing redeeming about this film. I was struggling within the first 15 minutes, but held on hoping that it would improve. But it just fizzled and died. The idea of late night host selling his soul to the devil through a bohemian groove idea could have been something worth watching. However, this failed to captivate and the visual effects were poor. I was hoping for so much better. I seriously think they must have used real hypnosis tricks to get people to think that this movie was good. LOL.
Oh my God. What is with the people that CGI? Is it because it's in like black and white? People are just so disturbed. And like, because it literally looks like a 70s TV show with like the grainy. Like,
I want to see what the budget even is on this. It's probably like $10. Like,
right? I want to see how old these people are.
Yeah.
That are doing these fucking reviews, because I'm telling you, they probably never seen a TV show from the 70s. Because it was amazing.
It was super fun.
Yeah, these people are just they have to be young bucks. I mean, the last one I read had to be, because the grammar was atrocious. My throat is still swollen from, me almost dying yesterday. Here we go. I have where was the one? This person's really peed off, which I love. There we go. Their name sounds like he probably got beaten up a lot. His name is Gerald J -1040. The devil is a liar. WTH. Not what the fuck. It's because he doesn't say naughty words. He seems like Gerald sounds like a guy that doesn't say naughty words. Mama won't like it. WTH went into this after reading all the great reviews. And yes, the devil is a liar. Says the devil, Late Night with the Devil, not devil is the liar. This has to be the worst horror movie of all time. It's unbelievably stupid and insulting to any paying audience. As a matter of fact, I will not even get paid to watch this movie again. No one's offering it to you, boo-boo. The deception of this being horror is far beyond reality of what horror really is. What it's about a fucking the murder. I mean, what else do the people want? The only horror is this movie actually made to the theaters, and it's gonna make more than $1. My girlfriend looked at me and said, "Really? This is the movie you were raving about?" Oh, this is why he doesn't like it. It's not because he has his own opinion. All I could say, I don't know what the hell we just watched, but the devil is laughing at all of us even more, even after Deceived, not even a 0 out of 10. I'm sure you probably liked it until your girlfriend said she didn't like it. And then you were like, you know what, babe? I'm going to go on IMDb. I'm going to make this review. And I'm going to tell them how pissed we are about how horrible this well-made movie was. Okay? Like, what I want to literally, I wish we could reply to these because that would be awesome to be like, excuse me, sir. What is a fucking horror movie to you? Is it if demons aren't horror movies, that means that The Shining and Sinister and Exorcist and every fucking demon possessed movie ever made is not a horror movie.
Yep.
Is it a is it a thriller? People got murdered. Heads got turned off. Not turned up. Like a dude spewed black tar blood all over everyone. Apparently that wasn't horror. So excuse me, Gerald. March 30th, he watched this movie. No, he made it March 30th. So he must have been one of the first people to see it. Like he wasn't deceived. He was he just didn't want his girlfriend to be mad at him. That was the bottom line. That was the moral of the story. So yeah, that's it. That's sadly the end of reviews. But we're gonna take a 12 to 10-second break. So we can drink some water. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. And Brendan's kitten is petted.
Yes. For now.
That's our other co-host. We have our other co-host. That's obviously we're boring. And then we have Chewy who's already asleep. So just like our audience. Asleep and they're like, shut the fuck up. So we're gonna now review Abigail. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want on IMDb to look at the like description, and there is none.
Really? Hold on.
I guess it's because if you give the description, you would know.
Oh, it's up there.
It's
at the top, right next to the poster.
It does not show it to me.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh my god, shut up. I got it. Okay, you can read it though.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Abigail's description. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Can't keep leaning. All right. So the description is: after a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion. unaware that they're locked inside with no normal little girl.
She was not normal.
No, not at all.
This also got a 7.1 out of 10, which just means the reviews I feel like are going to be the same.
Probably.
A bunch of idiots. No, you know what? So I heard somebody, if that somebody is listening, I read what you posted on Twitter about this movie. And because I had faith in your words, I was like, this movie's going to be garbage.
Absolutely
But
not.
I went to go see it and I actually fucking liked it. I could see if someone, so Abigail made me feel like it was almost like, I'm trying to find a movie that's kind of like this. It's not a serious horror movie. It's kind of like Megan. It is kind of like Megan. You know what I mean?
Like the vibe, at least towards the end, once you find out why they're there.
Yeah.
It's like it's 100%. It's like a vampire Saw movie.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Literally.
It's like they kidnapped someone, but you come to realize, like, I mean, yes, technically they kidnapped her, but it was all part of her plan to get abducted because she wanted those specific people because they somehow screw over her dad at some point. So it's exactly like Saw because that's what they do in Saw.
Storyline. Yeah.
And it's like,
there's a big ass storyline.
But it's like, oh my god, and like the cast, like,
oh my god, yeah.
the
Can
cast
I?
was so freaking sick. The cast was so random, yeah, it's so cool.
It was,
like,
yeah, it was. I mean, so I did see that Polish guy in a few movies, but I can't remember what. But he was in another horror movie, I want to say.
oh,
But
yeah,
I mean,
he's in
so
a lot, man. Like he
they
was the
got
Blob in,
Joey,
huh?
who's Melissa Barrera, which
Yeah.
I love. Oh,
I mean, she's getting better with emoting the top half of her face. That's something I noticed.
yeah.
That's one thing that's, I don't know, it's just been a me thing. That's always bothered me.
She's
With
got the
two
rest
movies she's
in
been
B face, but that's why I love her. She's like,
yeah, but yeah, no, she was really good, and I mean, she might end up turning into like a final girl if they keep casting her into it.
She will. I think she's growing and she's gonna be amazing. So here's my love-hate relationship. Sammy, Catherine Newton, okay? I hated her in Supernatural, but that's because her character was such a fucking whiny bitch. She was like, I know I became a vampire and like you guys saved me, but like I know I have a functional home now and a functional life, but I want to like hunt demons and stuff. So like, fuck you, mom. I'm like, bitch, you almost died, okay? And then
I haven't got to her in Supernatural. I didn't know she was in there.
Oh god, yeah. She's in a few seasons. She's a big character.
It has to be the later seasons.
Yeah. She's in the later seasons.
Oh, that's cool.
By the way, this bitch is not aged. I don't even know how old she is.
And it's like my favorite thing about Catherine Newton is like, at least in the horror movie she's been in, like she's been in Freaky.
Yeah.
She was just in Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know if this is like some pigeonhole thing they're doing with her, but she keeps playing supposed unattractive teenage girl.
Yeah.
That's like, especially in Freaky. Lisa Frankenstein's not as bad because I mean at least she's weirder than that. But in Freaky, she's just a normal teenage girl, but somehow she's not attractive. And I was like,
and this one, she's also a weird person, which I think is her personality because she's been trending on my TikToks. And basically, like, she's got that just weird, quirky, like, she's almost like got the Lisa Piazza kind of dead face going on, but she's got more personality to it, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
But I love her. I love her in all the movies she's been in and the TV shows.
She was really good in this. It was kind of nice that she was a little bit different than she was in Freaky and Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah,
now she's like a smart fucking black hat or whatever.
Yeah.
But then she also
she's been like in Ant-Man.
And she's also kind of like feels like she's stupid at the same time. Like it's weird. It's like she's like a black hat, which you have to be pretty smart to be a black hat, and she's also playing like a ditzy blonde at the same time.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
And she's like, a horror movie fanatic, by the way, which is amazing. She's super weird. Like, I would love to be friends with her. She's like super cool. But yeah, the whole movie starts with, you see Joey. By the way, this isn't even their characters' names. These are like the names that the guy that recruited them, Jack, who on my notes here, he's called Jack is hold on. Oh, there we go. Wait. Wrong notes. Totally ignore that. Yeah, these are their real names.
Yeah,
Frank.
Yeah.
We got Frank. Lambert. I put the asshole, the asshole ex FBI agent. You got Lambert is the traitor. And then you have like the crew, right? So you got the dude that's like always high as a kite. I didn't understand a goddamn word he was saying. He was like, I'm a good driver, man. I'm drive. He's like, oh, can you get my number? And like fucking Sammy's trying to hack the system, and he's just having his own party. You have Sammy, who you find out is a army medic, because she's like taking care of everybody throughout this whole thing, but she knows how to handle a gun. And then she's also voiced her opinion on, I didn't know this was a fucking kid we're kidnapping. Because all you see is all them getting together. You have Jack, who is just the asshole, but you later find out is an ex-FBI agent.
Oh, Frank.
Frank. And then you have the big Polish dude, but was it Slavian or something? Slavic?
Well, I think he said, at least when she was doing that whole like, oh, I know all about you people.
Yeah.
He's like from Quebec. I'm like, he does not look or sound like he's from Quebec.
No, he gives Polish vibes, but you know what? I went with it. And he's just the muscle, basically. He's like the dumb muscle, and then have like the, like, I guess, silly driver. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy saying? She got him down pat. She goes, a little schizophrenic or something. Like, you're not a professional. She handed him one. But yeah, so they kidnap this little girl. She gives her a shot. She handcuffs her. And the whole beginning of this movie, she's doing like a ballet dance by herself in this like orchestra of a building. It's massive. And she gets picked up by this driver. She gets driven home. No one's home. And she goes to bed. And then all of a sudden, these fuckers arrive. They blindfold her. And the guys in the car are like, hey, the dad's coming home. You see the dad, but you don't see him. So right now, you have like no clue what's really happening, besides the coming previews and knowing that this bitch is a vampire. Which it makes sense. Like, if they would have given that out and that was all this movie was about, like, then it would suck, but it's not. It goes deeper into that, because then they get placed into the house. They dump her off in her room. They lock her up. They have all these strict rules, how everyone gets fake names so no one rats them out, that no one tells their backstories, but of course the one girl, Joey, basically reads everybody in the room when they're drinking. And he then leaves. He goes, okay, this is the easy part. You guys just have to basically like keep her blindfolded. Sammy's the nurse, so she'll go up there and take care of the little girl. She'll be the only face she sees. Everyone just has to protect the building. And also no one knows who she's related to. Mm-hmm. So then all of a sudden you see Sammy goes into the room, and of course she feeds into the little girl bullshit, because the girl's like, my hand hurt. And she's like, oh, poor baby. Let me fix those and put them in front of your body. She's like, okay. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna take off your blindfold now. She's like, okay. And then they like make a little pact where she's like, I'm gonna protect you. No one's gonna hurt you. She's like, okay. But then she says something like something about her dad. And then she says the line that you see in the coming previews, the I'm so sorry about what's about to happen to you.
Oh.
So of course, and everyone's seen that again in the coming previews. So it can't be that important of a line, you would say, because that basically gives everything out. Like, oh, okay, she's gonna kill him, and that's it. That's the movie. No. So they're all drinking, they're all eating. One guy is upstairs getting ready to snipe anyone to come. Everyone's going through their bullshit. After Sammy reads everybody, Jack, the old ex FBI agent, reads her.
Well, she goes out there, and then she goes to Frank. It's like she still thinks like he knows like who her dad is, and she's like, "Who's her dad?" It's like I was like, I just want to know, because she's like, because she said that like he's gonna come hurt us, or he's gonna send someone to come get us. Because not assuming, is like, why would she hurt them? She's just a little girl. She's not going to do anything.
Yeah, fucking Frank, of course, is like, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's when Frank's like, all right, bet. And he just like ran in there, and not knowing that she's not blindfolded or handcuffed or whatever anymore.
Oh my God, that was too funny.
And then
he fucking tried to hide himself with the goddamn.
Yeah, points a gun at her head. He's like, all right, who's your dad? And that's when he finds out who her dad is. And he just tries to leave.
Right after this bitch just promised this little girl she was going to be safe, this dude comes into a fucking gun. And she did see his face, and then he hid it. And then she of course was like, I don't know what your face looks like. I don't even know. I'm just so scared. Oh no, just don't hurt me. And the douchebag just picks up his fucking bags. First of all, so before this happens, he calls out Sammy and Joey, and he's like, yeah, like you're ex-druggy because you have hard candy on you. Because you see her eating the hard candy throughout this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then you find out she's got a son. So she's obviously connecting with the young girl because of her son. And then he reads her and is like, you're ex-druggy and you left your kid and yada, yada, yada. But that's not even her whole story. You find out in the ending. He actually doesn't say her story's that bad compared to what the little girl says. But they basically are all just chilling. And then he comes downstairs, gets ready to fucking leave. And everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you leaving? He's like, no, everyone, you can get my money. Because everyone's going to get what, like 7 million each or some shit like that. Yeah. It was crazy. And she's like, wait a minute. Like, you were totally fine until all of a sudden something's changed. Like, what's happening? And he lets them know, like, hey, you know who her fucking dad is? Like, I forgot what his name was. Valdez.
Well, no, it wasn't Valdez. That was just the supposed hitman.
Yeah. But
I'm trying to find it. But yeah, I mean, it's like once you even see who it is, it's their name on here is just father.
But it's just the father.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're just like, the dad's basically like this fucking killer, and he's crazy.
Well, no, their dad's like the top of like the complete criminal underground.
Yeah.
So he's like,
and they're all fucking freaking out. So they're like, well, fuck this. How do we get out of it? And what did they say? They said they were going to leave her just unlock her, leave her locked in the house and just walk away.
Yeah.
And then of course they're all mad at fucking Joey because she basically blindfolded. So the girl knows what she looks like. She knows what Jackass looks like. So she's going to obviously tell her dad, and then they're going to, everyone's going to be fucked. Oh, and also she predicted everyone's shit, so everyone knows their info. So their whole plan, like if they just stuck with the plan, they all would have been alive. Like they could have just left, but they didn't. So they kind of fucked themselves in that situation. And Frank was talking to himself, and he was like, well, Lambert, the guy that recruited them, he was like, he's trust. Like, he would never hire us if, he didn't know what he was doing. He's a professional. We got this. And that's not the case. But he's like, yeah, we could trust him. You know what? We'll stay. We'll just be really cautious of our surroundings, and tells everybody to check the windows. Make sure all the stuff is locked. Make sure we have weapons. So you have the one guy's going up with a sniper rifle and he's set. You have Joey who goes into this room and finds this first of all, if you see the house from the outside, it doesn't seem like a room like this would be in this house. Like, it's so fucking grand. It's huge. It's like a vampiric fucking library. And then this window was making noises and she finds out how to open it. She opens the fucking window and everything is fine and dandy. Well, as they're doing all of this, something triggers and it reminded me of 13 Ghosts. Like, everything just fucking locks. Or no, not 13 Ghosts, Hell House on Haunted Hill. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. Like, they're all in there and all of a sudden everything fucking locks. And by the way, Lambert, before he fucking leaves them, says, "Have a good day, my little rats." And the guy that's supposed to be the dumb muscle, he actually was like, "That's weird." And then just like, he kept questioning it. He was like, "Why they call me little rat? I don't know why, little rat." Like, he was on it. Like, he knew the warning signs and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking dumbass." Like, because we're just fucking rats. And he's like, And then when this happens, he goes, "Oh, rats in a cage. Now I get it." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he took on that social cue and then ran with it. No one was listening to him. So that being said, everyone is now trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of here. And of course, everyone's separating because that's what you do in horror movies. And especially when there's a fucking like demon child, you're locked. So I forgot. They go back up to the little girl because they're like, "How the fuck do we get out of here? Who's your dad? Blah, blah, blah. We know who your dad is. What's happening?" And they piss her off to a point where, oh no, that's right. They're talking, they're arguing, and Sammy is just looking at the girl and she's like, guys, because you see the little girl break her fucking hand and take it out of the handcuffs.
Yeah, because this was after Valdez supposedly killed Dean.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
fucking that's
Dean,
oh yeah.
Because Sammy went to her room, was trying to watch cartoons, and then Dean scared her, and then she
fucking
flipped
weirdo.
out. Yeah,
he was like, I felt with the vibe, and they could have gotten Rocky Balboa to speak clearer than this kid.
Yeah, she kicked him out of the room, and then he ended up going down in, like, I guess the basement or something.
Yeah,
some kitchen or whatever, and then he
saw the fucking rat.
Yeah, then all of a sudden the rat just disappeared. He turned around, then he just gets yanked and pulled into the abyss. And then,
abyss.
Yeah, then Sammy starts hearing screaming, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check it out." She went downstairs, sees Dean, like the back of Dean sitting in a chair, goes up, puts her hands on his shoulders, and his head just pops off.
Yeah, her screams are epic. I love them. She's just like,
yeah, she starts screaming, and then Peter comes down. And then he's like, "Oh, what happened?"
Oh my god, they all them as a group was funny because fucking Frank is like, "So you were down here before we arrived?" And she goes, "Yeah. Do you really think I could fucking rip off his head? Like, let's be honest. Like, I could just tear off a human's head. Yeah, okay, no problem." So they're all like, "Okay." And if they didn't learn their lesson the first time, they go, "You know what we should do? We should separate. We should fucking separate some more." And that's no, that's right. They go into the room. That's when they talk to fucking Abigail, and the bitch starts fucking breaking their hands, taking her hands out of the handcuffs, and does a Megan style back bend. But then she does a fucking pirouette, but her head twists like extra.
Yeah, because she jumps on. I think she jumped on Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, she didn't even get to that. She got ready to jump on Peter, and then Frank just shot her right in the head. Everyone's like, "What?"
Then
the
that
fuck
bitch came back to life.
Yeah, and they just
with
locked
a
her in the room,
vengeance.
and they started all freaking out. And it's like, "All right, we need to get out." And then they walk down to the front door. Wrinkles opens the door, and then you see just this big ass gate.
They're locked in. They're trying to break out. And so while they're in the room, she bites Sammy on her arm.
Well, that was way later.
Oh, that was later. I was like, because wait, when did she stab what's his name with the cross? I thought that was when she stabbed him.
That's when they all decided to. They saw, like, oh, she's a vampire. Well, how do you get vampires? They started doing all the dumbass.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were like,
yeah,
they're like, okay, I guess we'll do this. They're like, let's get garlic, crosses. No one said holy water. And then they fucking send Sammy to the kitchen to get garlic, and this bitch comes back with onions. That was the most Gen Z fucking.
Just the way Frank just looks at her.
I was like, that was like perfect. I go, dude, that is literally the younger generation. Like, what? You want to get garlic? And they brought back fucking onions. He was like, this. He's like, I can't. He sends Muscle to go make steaks out of pool cubes. And then the fucking little girl, like, this is, you're right. That's when she comes to get all of them. She goes after Frank. Fucking
because
Frank make this plan.
Well, because before that, when they all went to do their own thing, Wrinkles came up to Sam, and it's like, hey, it's like, I don't trust any of them. We should just like stay together and just try and get out of here.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I'm like, all right. I mean, it makes sense. Like, they're all either morons or Frank.
And they're two like military people. Yeah. So
and then like the second he left the room, you just hear like this glass shatter.
Oh god, fuck! I totally forgot about that. That was nuts.
It's like, I don't know exactly what happened, but you hear a glass shatter. Then Joey turns around, sees Wrinkles just standing in the hallway, and then she walks up to him, and it's like, I guess fucking Abigail or someone just threw acid at his face.
I feel like maybe it's it's like a booby trap, maybe because it was like flesh eating acid, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being like one of those fucking reviewers that are like, it's not real. Because if it was acid, because she like carried him, she would also be burning. So yeah, I have no fucking clue what it was, but
whatever it was, it burned his face and burned
off
his chest a little bit or whatever. And man, he was dead. And then she's like covered in blood. And then she goes downstairs where the other three are together now. And she's like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, now he's dead, so two people are dead now.
Yeah, so then not Kevin, that's his name, Peter, Frank, and then Sammy go up to Abigail's room to try and kill her, and then Joey just stays downstairs because, like, what's the point? They go up there, they get their ass handed to them.
Oh, they did.
They come down all beaten and battered, and it's like, oh. And he's like, God, don't fucking say anything. Don't say I told you so.
And she's like, fuck you. Like, he's like, you got the big dude bleeding. Fucking Sammy is like, am I gonna turn into a vet? Oh no, that's right. Fucking, so Abigail comes down, she does the stabby thing. Because they have this whole plan. They're going to, the only time that they were able to get Abigail down was when Joey stabbed her with that shit. You know what I mean?
Whatever it is,
the syringe with like morphine or whatever. And so of course she drops it right when fucking Abigail comes downstairs to wreak havoc again. So she drops it near the cage door and she's trying to reach for it. Fucking, she's attacking everybody. She's stabbing the muscle guy. Again, the fast-paced stabbing.
Like his little cross.
Yeah, she did like a miniature version of The Exorcist, like just stabbing his chest.
Yeah, because I think before he started getting stabbed, she was on top of Frank, getting ready to bite Frank, and then Peter just comes down and just freaking fucking dives into her. Freaking just slams her on the ground, and she flips him over, starts stabbing with this cross, and then Sammy's like, I don't know what to do because she's about to
the
fight
fucking
Peter.
garlic, and she smells the garlic. Like, it's like, fuck this, guys. Like, everything that you thought about vampires is false.
Then she grabs Abigail off of Peter, and then that's when Abigail bites her in the arm.
Oh yeah, and then she goes to Sammy's like, oh my god, she bit me. Am I gonna be like her? And then Abigail goes, yes. And then just starts like fucking still wreaking havoc. They finally get her down. So now she's knocked out. They lock her in this elevator they found in what I'm assuming is an old like wine cellar type of ordeal. They have her locked up. And this is when like you get more of the full story of what is happening. Because you find out everyone's true story. Joey was right, but she was leaving out some elements of everyone's stories. So basically, the muscle guy was working for her dad, and he ended up scamming one of his little, I guess, mafias and stole money. So, and then he went, so he fucked her dad over. You got the Sammy, the hacker, who was hacking money and taking money out of people's accounts, and she ended up hacking her dad's account, taking out millions of dollars. You have Frank, who actually was an FBI agent working undercover, ended up liking working for her dad, and ended up working for her dad, and then left.
Well, people died.
Yeah, and then he
just
booted.
He was kind of the fault. I think he was at fault for it or something.
Yeah, the partner is dying, and then he changed his name, and then he moved away from his family. She was like, he's a piece of shit. Moved away from his family. Then, of course, you go to Joey, who's been this like martyr the whole time with like, she's clean now and she's going to get her son. But then you find out that she was a medic for like, almost like, was it that Mary, or there was a horror movie about a girl that used to do like nursing or being a doctor for mafia people. I forgot what it was though, but she was kind of like that, where she was like helping like assholes or, murderers get fixed. And she ended up actually accidentally killing one of her dad's main dudes. So even her way, like I was like, that's still not her fault. Like a bullet like, I mean, shit happens all the time, but whatever. She's like, and you did this. So all of a sudden they're like, trying to gather again and, get a plan. Cause she goes, I'll make you guys a deal. I'll let you go if you let me go. Cause my dad's not going to come get me. Like my dad, she kept saying, she was the only constant thing she kept saying was, my dad doesn't care about me. My dad is not going to be here. You find out that basically Lambert is one of her minions. And for her entertainment, she does this every year where they grab a bunch of people that, fucked up with her dad, and she plays with them and eats them. So, and Lambert's the guy that like collects all these people. And that's the guy that Frank was like, oh no, he's trustworthy. Like, oh, he's an excellent guy. No, he's A-okay. Well, they end up trying to figure out like an exit strategy while they leave Frank. Like, Frank is never proven to be a good character. And they're like, you know what? We'll have Frank watch her. Like, this is great. A great idea. And it's what you would expect Frank to do. He was wheeling and dealing with her. He literally was trying to scam her, and he was like, yeah, you just tell me the exit. And she goes, it's in the library under the book that then there was one. And he's like, okay, no problem, little girl. And then she's like, okay, well, that's our deal. Like, let me go and you'll be the only one I let live. And of course, he fucks with her and he goes by the gate and she's like, you know what? Fuck this. And just pushes the gate open. So she's been toying with him this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, she breaks the fucking gate open, squishes him. And then, what was it? What if I like blank out what happened after that? Because they then are basically looking for an exit strategy at this point.
Well, yeah, well, she's on top of Frank again, and then Joey hits the wall, and then when she's going to either stab Frank or bite Frank, she hits the wall, sunlight comes in and then blows up her arm.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
And then she starts crawling away screaming, and then the arm starts growing back, and then that's when they all just run out, and they realize like, okay, they just need to stay in daylight, so they run to that kind of
and also they're fucked because this bitch grew like she was like a worm. Like it fucking grew back. That was gross. That whole scene where Liz0mbie coming out, it was and she was like deadly screaming. And these motherfuckers ran for their life. And so they're running for their life. And of course, they're like, yeah, we need to split up to figure out like a way out. Like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And poor Sammy. This is the best scene, I want to say, out of the whole movie. I absolutely loved this scene because they're all separated now. So there's two different things about to happen in this story. So you have Sammy and the Muscle. They're going to look for, the little vampire girl.
Well, and they're going to look for a way to power down the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The walls and all
power down the walls. So they're going to look, and everything is fine. And, Sammy's freaking out. And the one guy is like, it's going to be okay. Do you have loved ones outside of this building? She's like, yeah. He goes, well, we're going to go see them. It's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. And she's like, okay. And of course, he goes ahead of her. And then all of a sudden, you hear Abigail plays that record, which is like some ballet song. I feel like it's the Swan Lake or something like that. She plays, and then all of a sudden, fucking Sammy, she goes and like projects herself into Sammy, and Sammy starts turning into a vampire. And then she fucking like kills the poor muscle man who was like, so like, we're gonna get out of here. You're my best friend. So she bites his neck. He's dead. And she does this whole ballet routine that is like the coolest. I love that whole scene. It flashes from them.
But yeah, and it was also cool because like you can see like daylight coming through the the windows, and you can see her smoking. I thought that was really cool. It was like she's smoking because
it's like a fog room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. But I thought that was a nice little detail.
Yeah,
and then
that whole scene was awesome.
Yeah, then Frank and Joey come in, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" And then she tries to just like play it off. Obviously, that's not working.
But the dancing, it was like, so you have Sammy, and the show's Sammy dancing the same time Abigail's dancing, and then you see them. It just keeps switching back and forth to each of them, and it's like. It was so good. And I can't even explain why. I mean, I can't explain why I love it. It's like their facial features, like how they expressed when they were dancing, it was all identical. It was that awesome. Like that had to be very hard to do, but that was amazing. So then they come, and then she's like, oh no, the way she was like, oh no, he's dead. Like exactly like that. Oh no. Ooh, he's dead now. And then they go to fucking like, she goes after them, and they end up fucking, she ends up exploding because they like open up that window.
Yeah, they just run through that same library with the big circular window. They pop that open and then boom, blows up instantly. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I love that the vampires fucking explode. Like, I mean,
like big time.
It reminds me of the Catch Me If You Can, when they were like, this isn't true, we're not gonna die, and then everyone just fucking explodes. The explosions are awesome. So and then before that even happens, you have Frank going into the library looking for the fucking there was only one book, just to find out that the book is there, but there's no like secret room. Until of course, leave it up to Joey to save the day. She ends up like, knocking out windows and trying to figure out like how to fucking get out. And they find like a secret passageway that takes them into a room that Lambert was in. And then he's a vampire.
Yeah, Lambert in vampire form.
Yeah, and he's like, she turned me 2 years ago. I've been working for her, and he's basically like, hey, Frank, let's cut a deal. I'll make you a vampire. We could feed Joey to the little girl. And she goes, and me and you, we could kill Abigail and we could take over like the whole mob scene. And as this is all going, Joey gets knocked out, whatnot. And she's like slowly waking up. And of course, Frank goes, why the fuck not? Like, yeah, I'm going to be a vampire because I'm a dirty asshole. He gets bit. And this is the only part I don't understand. So Sammy became a vampire. And she was just fine.
Well, no, that's the thing. Sammy didn't become a vampire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was projecting.
Yeah, because they explain it. Because, like, in every form I've ever seen where someone becomes a vampire, you have to specifically drink their blood. Yeah. So you can have full control. Otherwise, you're kind of like conduit. So that's
you're like attached to it.
Yeah, like Sammy was a conduit.
Okay,
and then Frank tried to do the same shit, but I don't think Frank was strong enough. But yeah, so Lambert bit Frank, and then that puts the virus or whatever you wanted, the vampirism in him, and then he cut himself and then dropped his blood in his mouth.
He did it the natural way.
Yeah,
the normal vampire way. And then his transformation is amazing.
The what?
His transformation was amazing.
Oh, he's just puking blood.
It's like literally piles of just piles of fucking blood. And then now he's a vampire. I'm not a fan of the vampire teeth though. It seems like a really full mouth for all the actors.
Yeah. And it was funny. Like he became a vampire, and then he starts getting up, and then Joey's waking up. And then I forgot what Lambert said to Joey, or he's like, oh, how does it feel to be a vampire? And then he turns around and stabs and just blows up. I'm like, oh shit.
She got right in the fucking heart. It was like bam. So now he's fucking dead. By the way, I think Frank, even though I hate his character, Frank was the only one who really sported those fangs well.
God, he was very
so good. Animated.
He looked so good when he got up. And he still had his sunglasses on there.
Right? Oh my god, he looked like fucking Mester from.
Bro, his leather jacket. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a cool look.
The first thing that popped in my head when I saw that was he's got to be the next killer in Dead by Daylight. Like there's a skin that's gonna look like that. Yeah, he looked badass, and the way he moved his mouth with the fangs made it so cool and animated. It was he moved it really well. Yeah. So he's chasing after fucking Joey in the library. Like, and this is the thing, like now you're catching on that, whoa, there's so much more to this fucking movie than what was told to all of us. Yeah. Because then more shit hits the fan, because all of a sudden you got fucking Joey, you got Frank, they're fighting, but then all of a sudden you got Abigail, who Frank ends up fucking half draining. He didn't drain the bitch all the way. And so she gets back alive and she's telling Joey, like, hey, if we work, I'm not strong enough to beat him, but if we work together, we could both get out of here.
Yeah, dude. And like the second time she attacked him, like he fucking grabbed her, threw her ass on the ground, and she just full went pancake. And you heard it like
literally. And then you heard her fucking neck, and then all of a sudden she like cracks her neck back. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like after he did that, after he killed her again, he grabbed Joey because Joey came up behind and tried to stab her with like a fireplace pick or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he turned around, grabbed the pick, grabbed her, threw her ass against the wall, and then jabbed the pick right through her collarbone, her shoulder lining, rotated it, and then you see the pick inside, like pushing against her skin. I'm like, Jesus, man.
And
it's like, here, just it's like, stay here for a minute. And then he went back.
He fucks up Abigail, drinks more of her blood. And oh my God, he then slowly grabs Joey and like takes her off that pick, and you have like the fat end. Yeah. And at the end, and he just popped that bitch right off. I was like, oh my God. And he was getting ready to fuck her up again.
Yeah, she was not having a good time.
No, Joey was getting beat the fuck up. She was getting lied to. She was getting stabbed. She was done. She was like, this is why I did drugs. This is horrible. That's why she was looking for fucking hard candy. I would be too. And so then Abigail is like cracking her fucking neck back. She goes back, and then her and Sammy are both just like fucking going at it. And then he ends up fucking exploding, and they're both covered in his guts.
It was so cool. Like he was on the ground. Abigail's on top of him trying to stab him, and then then Joey gets on top of Abigail, and then they push it in. He's like, "Oh fuck!" And it's like that's why the explosions are so cool. Like it's such a massive explosion, it blew them backwards.
Literally, it blew them all the way across the fucking room.
Yeah, and then like I forgot. Like so they get up.
Yeah,
and then like. Abigail's like, all right, it's like just get out of here, go see your son. And like, all right, cool, a happy ending, nice. And then she's walking out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you just see a figure come in, or like she like gets knocked down or whatever. Yep. You see the feet, it pans up, and it's her dad. And they're like, oh shit.
She's like, Dad, no.
And it was cool because it's Matthew Good that played her father.
Oh my God, who's amazing.
I was like, holy shit. And I'm like, well, that's just a random cameo for no reason.
Literally, I was like, this is a big like actor for like the quickest, smallest part.
Oh, and like he was like about to kill her, and like Abigail's like trying everything. It's like, no, don't do it. Like she said.
Then she hit our heartstrings.
Yeah,
she said, Daddy, you weren't ever there, and she was.
Yeah, I guess they did some type of like telepathy, where she's like talking to him inside his head. And then he finally like was like, all right, whatever. And then
he's like, fine.
He went like
I'm asking you, Dad. I'll let her go.
She went and bent down, grabbed her hand, and then went to like kiss it. And then you could tell he could like taste and smell the blood. But it was like, it was like, you need to get out of here. It's like, time for you to go.
Like, you better get the fuck out right now. He's like, it's about to be dinner time, bitch. You better get out. She's like, okay, gotta go. But like before Abigail turns to her and they had like a moment with her son, she goes, go get your son. Yeah. And then she's like, I'll see you later, Joey. So I'm sure they're going to have a sequel of this. But I love how Joey like goes to walk out and she's like, what the fuck? Like
that ending, like especially her being covered in blood. Then she goes and sits in the van. And it just kind of it's just like
and then she finds a fucking lollipop. She's like, she found her hard
she's like
candy.
Covered in blood. It's like a calming moment. It kind of reminded me at the ending of Ready or Not.
Oh
like
yeah.
Tamara Weaving sitting on the steps covered in blood, just smoking.
That's so funny because it's like, so that one, I guess it's the same actress, actually. Maybe that was a homage to her, because she was also no, in our was that the same person? Was she also in Restaurant or Menu? Menu?
No,
Maybe that was like it.
that was Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay, I go. Maybe that was like it's a new female thing to do, I guess, with these scream queens, because in Menu she eats the burger. Like
she's on the boat and she's like,
yeah, she's eating her
not really
fucking
covered in
burger.
blood. She's on the boat and
Yeah.
she eats the burger. I'm like, yeah, it's just a calming moment
So
after
if you get
show.
emotionally scarred and go through a death life experience covered in blood, just remember, a bitch be angry when she's hungry. So, girl dinner. That's what needs to be a TikTok. Girl dinner, and just show like all the girls eating. I will make a montage. I'll post it on TikTok, but also the Patreon page, because I just realized how many fucking movies have literally females just eating after like being covered in blood. And of course, our favorite segment is reviews, which I'm curious because I honestly, this movie I thought I was going to hate because people I knew hated it.
Wow, they're all wrong.
They were. I'm like,
personally, like, when I like, even throughout the movie, I'm like, this movie's like literally perfect. And then when they got to the part, when they got to the part where she's in a cave and then she's saying exactly the reason why they're all there, I'm like, this is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Like, you took such a simple ass concept that sounds so stupid when you watch the trailer, and I think that was the intention. Because it's like, it's a bunch of random ass criminals that kidnap this kid that turns out to be a ballerina vampire. That sounds stupid. You go to watch the movie, yes, technically that is what it is, but then you get to the point like why they're there. It's like, oh, because they all screwed them over and all this stuff. I'm like, there's just so many layers to such a simple concept that don't need to be there, but they put it there and it worked. And I'm like, this is great.
You know what? I have to say though, there's only 3 1-star reviews, so that's saying a lot. Okay,
oh,
so
really? Well, how many reviews are there? How many reviews are there total?
3. Oh no. There's
121.
Yeah. And there's only 3 1-star reviews, which is awesome. But let me tell you, the one review is like 5 fucking paragraphs long. So whoever reads that one,
holy shit, I could read it if you want.
I was like, if you want to, that'll be the only review I'll have you read, because the other 2 are like as equal as that one, because that's nuts.
Yeah, I could read it really quick.
Oh, I love their name though.
X Pringle Face X.
Yeah.
Pringle Face. Yeah. But yeah,
that just means it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, so X Pringle Face X said it's pretty freaking bad. It's like, this could have had a great twist if it didn't tell you in the trailer that Abigail is a bloodthirsty vampire killing everyone. Like, that wasn't even the twist.
Yeah, that wasn't the twist at all.
Instead, the first bit of the movie is trying to make you guess who is the undercover one, who is in the house, but it's just Abigail the entire time. Like the trailer said, okay, waste of a fruitless plot point. The everybody makes horrible decisions cliche. Well, yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Let's split up. We're all picked off. Let's continue to split up. Let's split up until there's only 2 of us left. Clearly, this is working out for us. I'm like, that's a horror movie. Lambert is the last ditch plot twist. Hey, I know I could have just said this from the beginning and done this the way that would have been over in seconds. And I also know I am the one in control, and I could just open a window at any point in time, killing Abigail. But I thought it would be best to wait until almost all of you are dead, then ask the person I lured in here for help at night. I want to just fight her 2v1, although we could have just killed her during one of the times she was drugged into sleep, or open the window when it was daytime, but this is much more dramatic for the sake of the movie.
There's a lot of off points on that one.
I'm Glasses Guy, and I suddenly, for unknown reasons, hate Joey now that I am a vampire. I failed to kill Abigail. She told me where I went wrong, then I failed again, LOL, so I can make Joey a puppet. That is also fail at. I could have been a worse last-ditch villain than if I were Dr. Draken from Kim Possible, explaining my entire plan to my enemies. Also, I'm tired of regular human beings being beaten, stabbed, impaled, thrown through furniture, slammed into walls, and they just walk it off like nothing happened. The last fight scene was so agonizingly bad and long. I was actually getting kind of annoyed in the theater. The drama of
Oh
the violence
gosh.
loses all meaning when regular people just won't die from literally anything. Stabbed, oh well. Impaled, impaled, pulled the sucker out and kept going and keeps going. You barely even bled. We saved the buckets of blood for stupid scenes like getting turned into a vampire over the course of 20 seconds for the projectile vomiting. Broken
That's the
bones
best
doesn't happen
scene.
in Hollywood La La Land. I'm begging someone out there to make a good horror movie. I mean, it's
Uh,
explained why she could
yeah.
pull it out. Like she had his blood in him.
Yeah.
It's like that's what
And
she.
also I'm like, first of all, the first point is glasses guy, first of all, funny, way better than my asshole ex-FBI guy. Glasses guy. This glasses guy over here. He always hated her. That's why he said exactly what he said before. He was
Yeah.
like, "You fucked me over. Now I'm gonna fuck you over," because she grabbed him when he was gonna jack that little girl in the
Yeah,
face.
especially where he's from. Like he's supposedly
Yeah.
like ex vice cop from
Yeah.
freaking
He's
like New
like,
Jersey or New York. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna have an attitude. He's gonna have a chip
like,
on
what
his
the
shoulder.
fuck?
It just comes with the territory. Especially her being an ex junkie.
Yeah. I was
It's
like,
like
and I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? So this guy obviously didn't actually watch the movie.
yeah,
And like you said, like the vampire part was not even the fucking like
yeah.
also Lambert couldn't so Lambert's plan was if this would have backfired and say that girl didn't die,
Yeah,
then he could have blamed it on Frank. He
exactly.
couldn't do this by himself for that reason alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this failed, he still needs to live. He can't take on her fucking dad. So it's
Absolutely.
like,
Well, yeah, because
if
like, and that was the other thing. Like when her dad did come out, he's like, "Oh, you're whatever the fuck." I forgot his character's name, but it's like, "Oh,
yeah,
I go by many names over the years." I'm like, "So he's Dracula."
yeah,
That's what you're
yeah,
implying, and like that's
yeah,
cool. So he's essentially Dracula. I'm like, yeah, you ain't taking Dracula on by yourself. It's like
right?
the leader of the
Like he's the
vampires. Absolutely
OG,
not.
and you're like, oh, you should be fought. He should be a-okay. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. And
Yeah.
then, okay, so humans getting beaten. So let's say in horror movies, we're more realistic about the injuries,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So someone runs, right, from the killer, falls down the stairs, breaks her neck, and then dies.
Yeah.
And when the killer walks away.
Yeah.
Or someone breaks their bone and then still gets killed by the killer because you got a broken bone, you can't
Yeah.
get up and
It's
move.
like really
Uh,
the I was gonna say the only actual screw up when it comes to that is probably when Frank got stabbed in above the knee.
yeah,
Like when they first fought her, and like obviously then that she Joey pulled it out, patched him up, whatever.
yep.
You would think like he'd probably at least be limping, but there's a couple parts where he's running and stuff.
There
I'm like,
was,
all
yeah,
right, sure. But
yeah,
like when Peter's getting stabbed like a bunch of times with that, I'm like, he's a big
yeah.
dude. He's got a lot of muscle and fat
Also,
right here.
it was with a mini crucifix, so you got to
Yeah,
think like
exactly. So
it's
he doesn't have a
only
lot of puncture wounds, but I mean, he's
yeah,
a big dude, and
it's
it's
like a
not gonna,
bad sunburn.
yeah, it's not gonna really do much. And like, and then the only other injuries, like the dude that got acid or whatever thrown in his face,
Oh
died.
fuck
The guy
that!
that got
Yeah, that was
decapitated died. The girl that got
yeah,
bit eventually turned into a husk and then blew up.
right. Like, I
So
mean, what
really,
else
yeah,
did you
like
want?
the only one is like when Frank's running after being impaled on his knee. I'm like, sure, that's kind of a goof, but I mean, it's whatever. It's not that big
I'm
of a
like,
deal.
what the fuck? Oh my god, this one is too funny. Okay, so this one's by Little Pest 9.
Yeah.
Nice, spoopy
G- QT.
cutie. What the fuck? Anyways,
Well, nice, like spooky cutie. So I guess the little girl, I guess.
Oh, I was like, okay, and that's so off-putting since it's a 1-star review. Giving a 1 because she does go and point, and there is smoking. What?
I think there's French.
Oh, I hate point. Oh, they're point and there is smoking. Oh my god, not ballet and smoking. I give this movie a 1. I hate point dancing and smoking is bad. What? Whose 5-year-old wrote this? I'm done. This is sort of picture gets ruined by promotional material. We don't get to go on the journey with the characters of figuring out that it is her doing it because of the promotional material told us it is. It isn't even a spoiler to me. The spoilers only said she was a vampire. Not at one point did any of the advertisement point towards what was about to happen in the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You are nuts. The Quebecus muscle man looks like Elon Musk. I thought he sounded like East Euro trash. Whoa, calm your face, little pest. But maybe I just don't know what Quebestus sounds like. According to your spelling, I don't think you know what a lot of things sound like. The effects are nice and grungy, but the ending sucks. Maybe a Soul Survivor horror picture sells better, but this should not be a picture with any survivors. Okay.
Looking dumb.
I'm trying to where has there been a horror movie where there's no survivors?
Usually there was like that one zombie one you showed me.
Oh,
I didn't like
yeah.
it feels weird for not to be any survivors, or at least have an ambiguous ending. Like, where it's like, did they die? Probably, but it didn't show it. But when they just outright show it and no one survives, I'm like, well, that's kind of lame. Because like,
and then you just close yourself off for any sequels, say that you enjoy it.
It's just the idea that someone survives to then tell the story or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It just feels weird.
Then how the fuck do we know?
Cool. That's neat. Everyone's dead.
The end. That's it.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of lame if everyone dies. It's like,
so your review sucks.
And the other thing where she's talking about the promotional thing, like how they're advertising the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Cabin in the Woods did the same thing.
Yes.
If you watch Cabin in the Woods, it's like, is it about a bunch of like teenagers doing dumb shit in a cabin in the woods? Absolutely.
Yep.
Is that really what the movie's about? No.
Yep. And you get a good ending.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a fucking unicorn murdering a man.
Yeah, you would have never guessed the ending of Cabin in the Woods. I don't care who the fuck you are.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. There's no way.
It's just like this. I'm like, sure, it was about a vampire girl, but I mean, the layers
that was like that was the smallest part of this movie. Yeah. Oh my god, I'll read this one. I feel like is less entertaining. It just says Pulse by Quick Rind. So ... everything was good, comma. At least they know how to punctuate. Until ... round about an hour in, period. Maybe too much punctuation. They spoke about a syringe ... Then knocked her out, and Joey says, I checked her pulse and breathing was slow, and it worked. Yeah, now, I don't know about you, but the last time I checked, vampires don't have a pulse. And they don't need to breathe either. Some do it out of habit. Some envy their old lives. Oh, this must be a vampire, guys. Some even use spells. There is this person role plays in a forest with their friends, like Vampire Masquerade. There is a certain famous lore of vampires that have a spell that causes them to have a blush of life. But that's just a spell. Otherwise, they are undead. Now with Blade, he kills vampires with blood. Collagen? What?
Coagulant.
Coagulant. and acid and other means, but something that knocks out an undead? No, just no. I love all the actors though. The writers need to do some more fact checking about fictional concepts. Ironic, I know. Like,
I mean, it's like they already point out, it's like she could just be faking it.
I'm
Like
sure. Yeah, like, and also this person really sounds like a vampire nerd, which is
well, it's
fine.
there's two
But
things, like two things with that. Like she probably was just faking it, and the other
yeah,
thing with her saying the pulse is low is
yeah,
because she didn't know she was a vampire, and it could just be a placebo
yeah.
effect. I'm like, oh yeah, well, yeah, the pulse is
I
low. I
mean,
mean,
but they proven too in this movie that what you would think of vampires is not true
well,
in
yeah,
this
with the
movie because
crucifix
she
and
smelt the garlic. She touched the crucifix and fucking stabbed the guy.
yeah,
Oh, was it the iron? She knocked the fucking door down. So basically
oh yeah,
everything
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
did had nothing to do with vampire lore.
Minus UV light that still blows them up.
Yeah, it blows them up, it doesn't melt them, I guess, or I guess they still smoke. What's the lore on blowing up?
Well,
That's what I want to
it's
know.
different because if you ever watch Daywalkers, they talk about that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
That's
they can either implode, explode. It's just like it just depends who's writing it, but
yeah,
sunlight,
melt, smoke, poof, like
yeah.
turn to a bat. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sure this person does not watch What We Do in the Shadows. I'm sure that like angers them a lot. And to the 5 out of 22 people who found this helpful, get a life. Stop it. Stop it now. Stop your hate. I no, do not wake up in the morning. I mean, I was like, what, 6 out of 10? Yeah, I can't believe it. They all got like a 6 out of 21 or whatever, and this bitch got 5 out of 22. There's no way in hell. Also, the person that literally gave it a 1 star because there's point ballet and smoking cigarettes. And the fact that the Quebec guy looks like Elon Musk, which is a funny comment.
I mean, technically,
He kind of does though.
technically, no one smoked any cigarettes. I'm just saying
Yeah, like,
that was marijuana. That was not cigarette.
oh my god, is that what she was talking about? I go, maybe someone
Well, I'm
was
trying to
smoking
think.
in the car.
I'm pretty sure the only one that was smoking was Dean, and that was definitely not cigarettes.
Dude, that was a thick
That was
ass
a joint.
cigarette, girl. Okay,
That was
you're
a joint.
obviously 5 or
It's
16. You don't know what a blunt looks like because that was a
yeah.
fatty he was smoking, ma'am. That was not
Yeah, he needed to calm down after all the bullshit that was going on.
right. I'm like, he was pretty. He probably had to be the most even keel guy about to die. Even he was like, I'm gonna go down, kid. He like fucking mumbled his whole time. I mean, by the way, R.I.P. to the actor.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, that character was like, but I give this one 4 out of 5 because I did like it a lot. It's not my preferred movie, but I did love it. It was a good movie.
I was giving it 6 out of 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll be different. I really liked it a lot.
I do hope that they make a second one. That little girl was excellent.
Yeah, 'cause I think that was her first movie.
That's fucking nuts.
Let me check really quick. I'm pretty sure it was. I was waiting like when the opening credits were going, I was waiting to see like
Oh yeah, that's
introducing,
right.
but it didn't do it. So it might not be like her first like bigger role. I really felt like it was though.
God, she is
Oh no, it's
so
not. She's done other
no.
stuff.
Oh wow, yeah, she's been in
She's in the Matilda musical, probably dancing.
yeah, Wicked Ladder,
Yeah, so
Darklands.
she's probably just a
Nope.
dancer, and then they got her
Yeah,
a movie. So
Don't
that's
Leave
cool.
Home. She's in a lot of
Oh wait, she was Matilda. Yeah,
yeah.
she was Matilda on that Netflix, the one they just
God
made.
damn. So
That's cool.
it looks like she does a lot of voiceovers, a lot of musicals, and then all of a sudden it goes into horror.
Yep. As the
Oh,
natural progression.
yeah. I was like, I mean, she has like she has the good like demon child face.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I think it's the eyes.
She
She
does have
does,
really bright. She has really bright blue eyes.
You know what? You know who her facial structure reminds me of is the kid that's now grown ass man. The I see dead people. That's who she kind of
Haley
like
Joel Osment?
resembles. Yeah. I just saw
Not
her.
bad.
I just looked at a Matilda clip in it.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you cut her hair, I guess I could kind of see it a little bit.
They're
Like her
brother and
surprise
sister.
face.
She's brother and sister. I mean, I loved it. I think anyone could go see it. It's such a good movie. I mean, both of these movies were excellent. They were so much fun. We have a few updates. And like we're gonna get better with it. We're pre-planning now. I also started a new job. I have tons of excuses I could give you guys, but you guys could punish me later. Actually, so if you go on iHeartRadio, we're gonna start using that mic button. If you press on the mic, you could leave us comments. We will play live or questions. All right. I will pre-listen to them though. We will play even if you guys could tell go fuck ourselves and I'll play it. But if it's something very rude, then I'm not. Other than no fucking way. Our next episode is going to be discussing our top 5 80s horror movies, and we're gonna have a lovely person. We won't tell you who it is. We will be advertising it that runs that page. It's called Spooky MK. We're going to have them on our show. We're going to talk about 80s horror movies and our favorite top 5. Next on our update. Oh, yeah. So I've gotten a new day job. And it is a Sony-owned company. Nice. And speaking of horror movies coming out, there's a new horror movie called Tarot coming out. And I have tarot horror movie posters. And when I say horror movie posters, I mean the movie posters that the movie theaters get. So it's a 2-sided movie poster. Some of them don't even come with ratings. So I actually also have a Ghostbusters one that has a no rating on it. It says not yet rated. And it's a 2-sided movie theater poster. We'll be doing drawings under Patreon. So if you're not part of our Patreon, please join. It's going to be worth the money. There's tons of content on there. We'll be doing more giveaways. Now I get free posters. And yeah, I mean, so Tarot's coming out next month. There's Strangers Chapter 1's coming out.
Yep.
The new Alien is coming out, which I am
the second excited. I saw Fede Alvarez, I'm like done.
I was like,
I saw his name, I'm like, this is going to be ridiculous.
I was geeking out by myself in the theater after I just died. I was like, I'm like, oh my god.
The fact that it's Fede Alvarez and it seems like he's more focusing on the face huggers. I'm like, bro, this is going to be terrifying.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. And for all of I mean, I guess you don't have to be a lesbian for this one. There is a gay movie out. It's called Mermaids. I need to watch this. I think maybe I'll do like a Discord watch party, but it's called Mermaids, and it's about these 2 girls that are exploring their sexuality, and they end up exploring it with each other. And there's tentacles. And they're lesbians, and it's a horror movie. I don't know if that sells that to anybody, but that's what I have. And I believe that one is on Shudder.
Okay.
So it looks great. I mean, I don't know. I feel like either way that movie is going to be awesome because it's so fucking out there. Like I don't even know what I'm going to see, but we'll see. But yeah. So we actually killed off 2 hours. See, this is what happens when you don't at podcasts. We take up so much time. It's going to take me about 5 days to upload this episode to be on Spotify. But remember to like us, follow us, share our podcast, show love, comment on our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hold on, I got to sneeze. All right. On that note, we will see you guys next month. We'll have the date of the podcast out to you guys soon. If you're part of our Patreon, you'll know the date. If you're not, then I guess you'll have to just keep checking in to find out. But other than that, come and check out with Stabby Time next time with some more horror and gore. Liz0mbie checking out.
Bye.
Brendan checking out. Have a good day.